Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost. Peekaboo. I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2021. The album, the Vegas edition. Dad. AF. Fly me to the moon, let me dance. I don't know the words to that song anyway. How are you guys? That's my little Frank Sinatra for you. How are you guys doing? I am in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm sitting in my hotel room currently. We just got back up from the pool, and we had a fantastic day at the pool. This is our second day here, and having a great day. We're here for our wedding anniversary. It is our 10-year wedding anniversary. We got married in Las Vegas, Nevada 10 years ago this week. This is also our 13-year anniversary of being together, just so. There is longevity in relationships. Hey, listen, if you've been in a long-term relationship and you've made it work, put it in the comment section below. And hey, listen, marriage and committed relationships are not easy, are they? You know? And that's why I think it's always important over here to, like, have like, a really honest view of what, like, relationships are like. Because I get so tired of seeing these YouTube couples that are like, oh my God, I love you. Oh my God, I love you. I love you. And then, you know, like 3 months later, their channel is closed down and they're not together anymore, right? So I vowed when I got on YouTube, I was always going to show like a really honest view of what a relationship is like. And that's why I talk about marriage counseling, and I talk about the highs and the lows and everything in our marriage and our relationship. And this week, in honor of our wedding anniversary and everything, and we always do it when we're on vacation. Well, family friendly. We always make a video together when we're on vacation, but this week, Alex and I will be doing a Q&A in honor of our 10-year wedding anniversary. So I'm really excited about that. And a lot of you have already commented on my Instagram and on Twitter and said you're excited for the Alex video. So anyway, I have so many things to talk about today. Okay. First of all, I'm going to talk about Keemstar addressing the T channels. Then I also want to talk about the fact that Trisha Paytas has made their last response to Ethan Klein and company, Forever and Ever, Amen, on the heels of Ethan Klein saying they have addressed, or he has addressed, Trisha Paytas for the last time ever, Forever and Ever, Amen. So I guess it's over. I guess this will be the last video that I ever have to make about Trisha Paytas and Ethan Klein ever, ever, ever again. I'm in Vegas, and this is a gambling city, I heard. Okay, should we put some money on that? Should we put some money that this will be the last Peter Monn video that I ever have to make about Trisha Paytas and Ethan Klein? I just don't buy that. I just don't buy it at all. So, anyway, first of all, I want to talk about this whole situation with Keemstar. So, if you don't know who Keemstar is the host of Drama Alert, okay? Which I always thought was a drama channel, but I guess I'm wrong, okay? And I put out on Twitter today, because I am so confused, I said, could somebody explain to me the difference between a drama channel, a gossip channel, a tea channel, and a commentary channel? I mean, I know I'm a candle review company, okay? But I'm so confused about what this differentiation is between it. And this is what's interesting to me, okay? Is that when I started covering beauty influencer drama, there wasn't a lot of people out there. There was only like 2 or 3, right? And I was like, oh, I thought everything was a drama channel. Over time, it's like split up, and people have gotten very serious about their genre of drama or commentary or tea or gossip. Or receipts, I guess, is another area too, you know? And there seems to be kind of, to some degree, like, this group who considers themselves this thinks maybe like they're better than this, or they're doing something. I don't know. All I do know is I am not one of those receipt channels that throws up 9 million receipts, okay? Y'all know I forget at least 1 receipt in every video, so I couldn't handle that, okay? But I really don't understand the difference aren't we all just talking about what's going on YouTube? Like, I mean, to me, when I think of like The View and The Talk, and I think about like that one thing, that Table Talk one that my husband watches, it has like Morgan Stewart from the Rich Kids of Beverly Hills. Well, all those shows to me are just kind of the same, right? Like, you know, I mean, back in the day when I watched like Oprah and Phil Donahue and Sally Jesse Raphael and did I say Phil Donahue already? Geraldo and Joan Rivers. I watched all this. They were all just talk shows, you know? It's like back in the day when I watched Sale of the Century. Oh my God, I love Sale of the Century so much. And The Price is Right and all that. They were all just game shows. What is the difference in a T channel, okay? So anyway, but Keemstar put this statement out on Twitter. Here you go, I'm gonna show it to you.
Dear T channels, you have such a bad rap, all right, like and reputation. But I also have a bad reputation, and you know, I have a huge fan base. You guys have a huge fan base, and our fan bases disagree with each other on almost everything. And I think I realize that like there hasn't been real communication between my side and your side at all. And I feel like in the past when I've disagreed with somebody or disagreed with like a commentary person and got to know them and got to talk to them and bounce ideas back and forth, we could find common, you know, stuff that we agree with and stuff that we disagree with. And I don't know, open dialogue is good. And we do not communicate with each other. And I'm going to make myself available to have conversations with you moving forward. So any T channel that would like to communicate, hit me up.
Wouldn't that have been so funny if I had just not included it? I was sitting here for a second before I turned the camera off to insert, you know, and I was like, would that have been so funny if I just kept on staring at the camera and then I go, okay, what'd you guys think? Because I'm so killing for never including. My face is already red from being out in the sun today. I am so killing for always forgetting the receipts. But anyway, okay, I have a couple thoughts, first of all. So Keemstar goes right in. First of all, if you want to open dialogue with people, probably the way to start that is not to like come in right off the gate telling somebody they have a bad reputation, okay? I mean, like, if I wanted to earn somebody's respect and wanted to open a dialogue or a conversation with them, I probably wouldn't go right up to them and be like, hey, I know you have a bad reputation and I do too. Let's get together. You know what I mean? That is such foolishness, okay? Second of all, I've never thought that there wasn't an open line of communication between myself and anybody out there. If they want to, my DMs are open, gal, you know, DM me if you got a question. I don't know. And I have to really think that there's kind of like a little bit of a put down in this video, because I really think he is talking about like the bigger drama channels, you know, like the T-Spills and the Deaf Noodles and the D'Angelo Wallace's. I don't know if D'Angelo has made a video in a while, but I really think he's talking about those people, you know, that are like Angelica Oles, like the bigger ones, okay? He's like, Peter can hardly pull 10,000 views a video. I ain't talking about her. I don't care about all that. You know what I mean? Beast! Oh, speaking of, can we just talk about this for a second? So, I was at the pool today, okay? And there were these two gals. I was up there with my husband and stuff, you know, and we were there with my mother-in-law, and my Alex's cousin was here too. So, they're in the pool, all of them, and I had just gotten out of the pool, and I was sitting there, and I was talking, you know, I was watching these two girls take 9 million pictures of each other, right? And the one girl was like, and I said to them something, I was like, oh, I said, are you like taking pictures for, like, because it looked like, oh, she said something like, they want me to take a lot of pictures, and so I said, oh, are you like, do you take pictures for like a sponsorship for Instagram or something? She goes, uh-huh, like that, like real rude, right? I was like, oh, okay, girl, you know? And they were cute girls too, you know, they were. And so she like is going like this and you know, doing all this kind of stuff. And her friend is literally just sitting there like one. And then she's like, okay, let me look at it. And then she looks at all the pictures and she's like, no, she's like, it's not showing off the suit. I have to show off the suit, right? And so she like, then she turns around, she's like contorting into all of these like weird positions that nobody would ever really sit in a million years, you know? And so then she and her friend were taking a picture together, and I was like, oh, do you want me to take a picture for you? And this girl looked at me, I swear to God, Dad, and she goes, no, she goes, we're influencers, and she goes, you wouldn't know what you were doing. And then they laughed, and then she said that to me, and I was like, how rude! I could not believe it. And I looked at her and I said, you're probably right. You're probably right. Anyway, I just went back to minding my own business. I mean, what would I know but any kind of like Instagram picture or anything like that? I felt like saying, girl, I could probably give you a couple pointers, but you don't really want to hear it. So anyway, beast! So anyway, I never thought, okay, that first of all, I never thought that I didn't have open communication with anybody, okay? Anybody wants to reach out to my DMs, reach out to me, okay? Anybody wants to email me, tweet me, whatever, you know, like to have some kind of open conversation that you need to have. That's 1 and 2, right? And 3 is this. What conversation does Keemstar think that the drama channels, T channels, gossip channels, commentary, candle review company channels, what kind of conversation does he think that we need to have with him? Does he think he's pulling views all of a sudden because he had Trisha Paytas, Gabby Hanna, and Tana Mojo on his podcast? Girl, now that's cute, okay? That's cute. But I'm telling you right now, once a drama channel becomes a drama, your views start going down, okay? Keemstar, I don't know if you ain't getting the views that you want to get, that you want to have all these open lines of conversation. I mean, what is that? I don't understand. I was like, people tagged me in this, and I was like, what is this about? And I was watching this video, and I was like, okay, first of all, you've reached out to me in the past. I guess you could reach out to me. Are there other not drama? I know he's talked to other drama channels. I know several drama channels that he's talked to. So it's like, who are you talking about? If you want to have an open conversation, have an open conversation. Or is it that you're trying to look like you're making a change and you want to know that, like, you know, whatever that, or is it that you think you can maybe benefit from those audiences? I don't know, okay? But any conversation that needs to be had, my DMs are open, right? Like, people were like, oh, you should go interview him. About what? I don't have anything to interview him about. Okay, why'd you have Trisha Paytas on your podcast? We already know it's for the views and subscribers. Everything that he does is for the views and the subscribers. And he would probably own up to that. What was all of that about? I don't get it. And everybody was getting all excited about it and stuff. And I was like, whatever. So that was that, okay? Then Trisha Paytas made this video, and the video is called I'm Not Staying Silent on This regarding Ethan Klein, 8th Street, and Ethan's mom, okay? It's just more of the same. It's just more of the same, but this is what's interesting is, before it gets to the point where Trisha posts this video, hold on a second, let me fix my hat. My hat is crooked, okay? Before it gets to that point, Trisha, this is what Trisha tweeted out last night, okay? Okay, this is not okay. My parents went away for a week's vacation and they left the keys. No. Okay, this is not okay. I am addressing everything this one last time. Now, how many times has Trisha Paytas said that they're going to address thing one last time? Trisha Paytas is the queen of saying, okay? I'm signing off. I'm not tweeting anymore. I'm not saying anything. And then there's 20 more tweets. Trisha Paytas is the queen of saying, this is the last time I've had it, okay? Until Ethan Klein says something else. And then Trisha Paytas will have another word on it, okay? I wish they both shut up. I'm tired of hearing about it. This story is so old as bad cheese at the Wisconsin Fair, okay? I am so tired of hearing about this story, and I'm sure y'all are too, but hey, listen, it's a break from Gabby Hanna. Gabby Hanna's been tweeting out the last couple days. She's been tweeting out all of this. I'm like, is this a puzzle? I'm confused, okay? Is this Sudoku? I don't know. I know I'm confused. She's tweeting out all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, oh, she just wants people to make videos about her. Oh, no, girl, I'm waiting for that next part of your series to come out. If you have, do you even have it made yet, girl? Your 12-part series? Yeah, wrecking somebody's life. Okay, so, then Trisha Paytas said, imagine blaming me for stressing your pregnant wife out, Ethan. You illegally uploaded pirated footage, which not only got you sued, but your wife's company sued, and you have your wife sit next to you while you harass and attack every creator out there. All this because I went on a podcast? Well, Trisha, I mean, it was a little bit bigger than that, okay? It was like back in the day when you were friends with Shane Dawson, and I kind of am surprised that nobody has brought up this analogy. It'd be kind of like when you were friends with Shane Dawson, if you had gone and made a video with Onision, okay? Like, let's just call it for what it is, right? It's not just you went on a podcast, all right? It's you went on Ethan Klein, who you just have this, like, breakup that you guys are trying to talk it out, I thought, okay? And you're like, oh, well, he has my number, he can call me anytime and whatever. You went on his biggest arch enemy's podcast, okay? And you're a grown adult. You can do what you want to do. But don't act like you don't know what it's about, okay? Let's call it for what it is, okay? Evil to the core. No, it's not. She's not a Christian! I mean, it's a poor choice, and you got used, okay? And I don't know how you don't see that. And Trisha Paytas apparently does not see this because of what they said in their video, okay? We're going to talk about that in just a second. But anyway, then Trisha tweets out, everyone's so mad I went on Keemstar's podcast after calling Hila a horse, which I called him out and said was crappy and unnecessary. Faze agreed. The same thing I did when Ethan called me all those horrible names. If Ethan can learn and grow, why can't Keemstar? I listened to the podcast, and that's not really how I remember the podcast going, but okay, we'll go with that. And then tweeted out, only Ethan is allowed to apologize and move forward, but no one else is. Keemstar, no, I think that Ethan is keeping this alive as well. I do. I think that Ethan is keeping this alive as well. I think that Ethan should just nip it in the butt, cut his losses, and move on and say, I'm done with this, okay? This is not healthy for me. This is not healthy for my family. This is not healthy for my YouTube channel. I'm moving on. And he said that. So hopefully, he'll stick to that. Okay. Trisha said, only Ethan is allowed to apologize and move forward, but no one else is. Keemstar, he admitted he had bad takes on mental health. And, Keemstar said that there is no such thing as, I think the tweet that he put out years ago was that there is no such thing as social anxiety. He has also belittled mental health on a regular basis. I didn't hear a lot of apologies on Keemstar's podcast about that. If he wants to make an entire podcast where he talks about ownership for the things that he has said about mental health and what he's learned about that and not have a guest on there, that's a different story, okay? But I didn't hear a lot of like a growth forward about that. I was real offended by that statement years ago because I'm somebody that has experienced and suffered from social anxiety for a long time, okay? And just recently found out as a result of having PTSD from being bullied for so long when I was younger as a kid. I don't blame that on everybody in my life, okay? I look at the conditions and causes in my life and look at what I am responsible for, what I can change, and what I can fix, right? But to say something is not true just because you haven't suffered from it, or because you don't know anyone around that's that way, or to say that 3 sips of beer make you happy, I mean, come on now. Like that, and then to go on later and say, well, I just want to bully and harass everybody else like that. I'm sorry. I'm not cool with people that bully and harass people anywhere, okay? I don't think that's cool. I'm not down with that. And that's what all of this has turned into. It's ugly. It's ugly. And I don't respect any of these people. The whole thing is so sad to me, So anyway, it's like, and you know what it is? It's a bunch of kids that have to get in the last word. It is. It's a bunch of kids that have to just get in the last word and say the last thing, right? Just shut up, all of you, about it. Trisha goes on to say, I'm by no means his friend, but that's some growth. That's getting through to someone so ignorant. I didn't see that growth. I'm just telling you what I witnessed on the podcast, okay? Maybe other people would disagree with me. Ethan trashed me multiple episodes after Frenemies ended. I have zero loyalty towards him, zero respect towards him. He can't admit any fault. Well, that would explain your stance and how you feel that way. And I do think that Ethan said some things that could be considered trashing you. I do agree with that. And that's why I think it just needs to stop all around, okay? We don't need to perpetuate it. I can't wait to see who they blame in regards to that. It goes on and talks about these lawsuits. I caused stress, but Ethan engaging in constant drama and harassment 3 times a week on his channel, recently resulting in a strike. A strike from the man, initiated by the man whose podcast you went on. There's a line that connects the magic rainbow from here to here. Woo! This is not deep math, okay? Because trust me, if it was, I wouldn't get it. Getting everyone involved in a lawsuit, he's innocent. Always find someone else to blame. Pot, here's kettle. Okay. I haven't spoken one bad word about Hila through all of this, not just because she's pregnant, but it goes on to say all this about Hila. Okay. And Trisha hasn't. Okay, the whole video is coming, explaining. I didn't record a private conversation. I recorded the last episode we did of Frenemies, which we both agreed to. But then why not just say, hey, I'm recording this too, just in case you... I understand that, and I understand Trisha's logic behind this, that they did nothing wrong because it was a Frenemies podcast that they agreed to film. I understand that, okay? I get that point of view we were seeing it from, but then why not just be like, hey, Ethan... just to cover both of us, are you okay if I record this too? Because that way, I want to be able to, because Trisha says, I like to play things back, because sometimes I don't see things correctly. That way I can play it back when we get home. Also, if you choose to edit parts out, then I'll have a say in that as well, right? Okay. I recorded the last episode we did of Frenemies, which we both agreed to. Why? Because Ethan lies. I need to listen back to what was said for my own reality, have trouble with delusions, and need to hear it. Okay, and then it goes on to talk about people doxing Moses. I've surrendered, but the lies and harassment will not stop. It's beyond hate comments and snake emojis. Private people are getting harassed on the H3 subreddit, which has 500,000 users, and they do nothing to stop it but continue to provoke it. It's disgusting. You've continued to provoke it as well, though, okay? And this is where it goes back and forth between antagonist and victim, okay? And I'm just like, then just stop. Then don't tweet anything out. Don't put. You want it to end. You want the fire to go out. Don't put any gasoline on it. For anybody involved in this situation, it's like they just can't shut up, and I just don't get it. I really don't get it. You want something to stop? Just stop. You know, zip it. Don't say anything else. I've gone against bigger cults before who try to harass me in silence, and the truth always prevails. It's fine. Send all the snakes and clown emojis you want. It crosses the line when their subreddit is doxing people in our lives. It's crossing the line. They see this. Doxing anytime is inappropriate. Okay, we know that. It's completely inappropriate. And continuing sending this hate mob, it's not okay. Well, I mean, I've seen quite a few people on my videos, too. I've seen a lot of Ethan fans, obviously. I think it's more proportionate towards Ethan's group. But I would say that there's quite a few Trisha Paytas fans in there as well, okay, that are coming for Ethan's family. And, I mean, if you talk about a hate mob, I mean, it goes both ways, right? Let's just be for real on that one. And then it goes on, and Trisha says, Ethan and Hila see the doxing. They have the power to stop it by stop talking about us. You could stop talking about them too, This is like an interesting comment for me because Trisha always says, like, I've been on YouTube for 15 years, right? Well, then you would know this. It's like back in the day, like this hasn't happened as recently, but like back in the day, people would say to drama channels, like when there was like drama within drama, right? Like, oh, you sent your people towards me. Go over there and tell them to stop coming over here and sending hate comments. I wish I had that kind of power in the world. Do you know what I mean? I wish I had the kind of power to say to somebody, don't send any hate. There are people that literally sit behind their tablets, their computers, their phones, and they thrive off of hate. Whether Ethan, Klein, and Hila come out and say, stop sending hate or not, it's not going to stop. And whether Trisha Paytas comes out and says, stop sending hate, it's not going to stop, okay? There's just some really ugly, miserable people out there that thrive off of hate. I don't know why, okay? But if I had a wand, or Ethan had a wand, or Trisha had a wand, and we could say, stop sending hate, be of peace and love, who wouldn't do that? Who wouldn't do that to say, grow, be a better person, stop sending hate, love to everybody? Hell, I wouldn't even have a channel. I'd just be like, boom, peace and love. Everywhere. I mean, why? It doesn't even make sense. And then posts a video from yesterday, and then talks about, okay, so, and then is going to make this video. So I go watch this video, sitting by the pool today, put my AirPods in, and sitting there, after the girls across from me, they didn't want me to take no picture of them, okay? I hope you got a good picture, because if you got a boogered picture, they won't sponsor you anymore, okay? You could have asked me for help, but you didn't want it, okay? You could have asked me for your help, but you didn't want it. I get it, okay? By the way, I already called, and Boo, in case you were worried, Boo and Tucker are doing just fine. I called and checked in on them today. Okay. So I went and I watched this video of Trisha Paytas'. The video is like 11 minutes long. It's called, I'm Not Staying Silent on This, regarding Ethan Klein, H3, and Ethan's mom. It's currently sitting at 313,000 views. Yes, it has ads on it. Why wouldn't it? And it has 5.8 thousand likes and 26,000 dislikes. I think Trisha Paytas gets more dislikes on her videos than Amber Lynn Reed gets on her videos. So anyway, and there are 16,000 comments, and they are ruthless, you guys. So I went in and watched it, and I just want to say a few things about something, okay? I don't want to get into commentary about this text message that Ethan's mom sent out, and Ethan's Tanya Jean! Oh my Lord, I've lost my mind. Tanya Jean, my good Judy. No, not Tanya Jean. She ain't sending anybody hateful text message. She better never. I'd be like, Tanya Jean, my God, I thought you were my good Judy. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So, goes in and talks about how Donna, Ethan's mom, sent this hateful message to them, basically blaming them if anything health-wise should happen with Hila, okay? I'm not getting into all that. That is such personal, ugly stuff. I'm not getting into all of that, okay? The things I am going to tell you are the things that I found interesting. So, Trisha said that they can't do this anymore because it gets too personal and is affecting their family and people in their lives, and people are getting doxxed. What about the other side? What about what you've done about all this too, okay? Because then Trisha goes on to say at the end, there's a time when you have to ask, when am I always being part of the problem? So this is what I would like to see, okay? For anybody involved in this situation, y'all sit down and make a video and own your crap. I'd like to see you sit in a video, okay? And say, not just a video where you go through the apologies, Trisha did that, okay? But to say, no, I am perpetuating this. I don't really want to hear any more videos, but if you feel the need to make just one more video, ask yourself, okay? Like, can I take ownership of this video? Can I sit down and say, you know what? Like, I too have caused a lot of harm, and I need to end this right now. And I'm asking my people, even if I don't have any control over it, even if they're going to continue to do it, like Peter Monn says, I'm asking you guys, let's just stop. Let's just end our part of it, okay? No hate to send over them. I'm letting it go, you know? I'm trying to find love and peace in my heart for them, you know? You know, what's interesting to me is, and I talk about this on my Peterisms channel a lot. I'm going to say this now, whatever, because I think it's appropriate. We talk about forgiveness, you know? And I love this definition of forgiveness by Oprah. And the definition is, forgiveness is accepting what happened in the past happened. Not that what happened was okay, but accepting that it happened. Because we get so caught in our head so many times, and we're like, well, what if this, and what if that, and what if that had happened, and what if this didn't happen, right? So it's accepting that what happened, and then asking yourself, now what do I do this so I don't continue to be held hostage to the event of my past, all right? All of these people are choosing to stay hostage to the events of their past, to the events of a few weeks ago, to a month ago, or whatever. There are so many hurt feelings and hurt emotions surrounding this, and the players involved don't see it. Trisha Paytas literally does not see how they have affected this at all. Trisha got in this video and completely played the victim, okay? And has such a huge part in all of this. Goes on to say, it's crossing so many lines and they don't let up. Trisha, you don't see what you do about all this? And I'm not saying that they're perfect angels in it. I'm not saying that Ethan doesn't have a part in this. He does, okay? But like, if you want to go back to the chicken and the egg, I mean, like, let's go back. And let's just go back to last week, right? You didn't have to go on Keemstar's podcast. Right, it's just a podcast. It's just a podcast, okay? Where Trisha in the video says that they confronted Keemstar they talked about all these things and confronted Keemstar and all this kind of stuff about how he talks about women and no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Your perception of that podcast is completely different than the podcast that went out. I'm sorry, it just is. You need to go back and listen to that podcast, because I listened to it, and there was like a 30-second part where you talk about him talking about women's looks, and you didn't even get real specific with it. And you were just like, yeah, why do you do that? And he's like, I don't know. Yeah, I shouldn't do that. And FaZe Banks was like, yeah, right. That was it. There was nothing confrontational about that podcast, okay? That podcast was 38 minutes of Ethan Klein being dragged across the mud and you allowing it. Whether you like him, respect him, disrespect him or not. There's a lot of people that used to be friends of mine. There are a lot of people in my life that really mattered to me at one point that are not in my life today. And to be really honest with you, I have no emotional attachment to them, okay? But because based on the time that I spent with them, I sure as hell wouldn't sit in a room and let somebody talk about them that way. I'd say, I'm sorry, I'm not friends with this person today, and I don't highly respect that person today. But if you need to have that conversation, you need to have that conversation with somebody else. Girl, you got used. Own it. You got used. And quite frankly, and I didn't see it this way, but after reading all the comments on my last video, you used Keemstar too. Parasitic relationship. You used Keemstar too because you wanted to get back at Ethan, and you did. So who's starting what? What fire, you know? Billy Joel, I did not start the fire. I mean, who started what? You know? Or when was it going to stop? Well, Trisha has said the last thing they're going to say. Ethan has said the last thing they're going to say, and I hope it is over. And I hope, most importantly, that those gals down by the pool, I hope they got them 100,000 likes on their picture. I do, because I'm all about love and peace and serenity and such. Now, I got to get ready now, because I'm going to the RuPaul's Drag Race review here tonight. I'm real excited because y'all know I love drag and I love the RuPaul's and all that stuff. And my husband and I, we watch a reality show, okay, with all of Naomi Sims and the Asia O'Hara's and the Evie Oddleys and the Cameron Michaels and whom else? Oh my God, Miss Vanjie. Vanjie, all that. Who else am I leaving? Naomi Sims. Oh, Derek Barry. How could I forget about Derek Barry? So I can't wait. Okay, that's what we're going to do tonight. Okay, so anyway, I hope y'all aren't stressed out. Leave your shoes by the door if you're a hater. And now you can pick them up because the video's over. And I love you guys. I'm going to go eat some M&Ms. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.